Ketki, you're a commercial artist. Where did the entrepreneurial Kida bite you?
So I came back and I thought that maybe let's get started with our own business. If I can do good to a lot of other brands, then why not have my own brand?
How were the early days of Craft Village?
We were introducing new products, new fabrics to the market, and everyone was just loving it. So that was a very lovely phase where I got to balance both the business and my personal life. That was something I was missing on, I think, and Craft Village gave me that chance.
This is actually the story of every female entrepreneur who struggles at both ends, running the business successfully,
Balancing the
balancing
the personal life as well.
and children's.
Unfortunately, we faced a lot of challenges once I got back to business. I realized that I'm lacking behind in the market.
While we are facing these challenges, instead of giving up, instead of sulking, it is good to go back and learn.
Because you have spent a lot of time, money, energy, emotional connect with your business, with your brand, and you have to overcome it. There is always a better tomorrow.
Looking at you, I'm sure the other women also would either want to get into business, and if they're already in the business, they would want to scale it up like you.
Yes, I would love to share and inspire a lot of other entrepreneurs too.
Welcome to the very first episode of U-Turn with Ashika Sarkar. This is a podcast where we will be interviewing and having candid conversations with entrepreneurs who have gone through what you are going at the moment. They have been to situations where they have taken turning points. There are situations where they wanted to melt down and shut their businesses. There were times when they didn't want to continue their business. And then something magical happened. They took a U-turn. And this U-turn has changed the entire course of their life and their business. Not only that, today they stand as inspirational stories for all of us. In this podcast, we'll cover such entrepreneurs and their topsy-turvy journeys and their U-turns, only to make you get inspired and scale up your businesses to the next level. I'm your host Ashika Sarkar, an entrepreneur for the last 25 years, and I'm also a business coach. So we'll be having very candid conversations during this podcast where the entrepreneurs will take you through the minute details of their business journeys. This is an attempt to inspire you, give you the confidence to look at a larger picture, not give up on your dreams and your business, learn and scale up the business, and for all you know, you may be the next podcast guest who would inspire another thousands of entrepreneurs to paint a big picture ahead. So our guest today is Ketki Tolde. I go a long way with Ketki. She was my colleague way back in 2003-2004 at Paradigm Plus, where she was a senior designer. From there, she joined a design company, which is the ACE company in India, and she was working on large brands. And then she started Craft Village, a lifestyle boutique. I've been fortunate to witness Ketki's entrepreneurial journey and thought it would be very, very ideal for lots of entrepreneurs sitting there who have been struggling in their challenges of business. So let's welcome Ketki and let's learn and get inspired from her challenging journey of entrepreneurship. Hi Ketki, thanks for coming here today and joining us.
Thank you so much, Ashika, for inviting me here. It's my pleasure that I'm here and making my story of the U-turn that I took in my business. And I would love to share and inspire a lot of other entrepreneurs too.
So Ketki, you're a commercial artist. You have worked in design agencies, advertising agencies. Where did the entrepreneurial Kida bite you?
Yeah, so by education, I am a graphic designer. I worked with the top agencies and design houses, and I was highly paid over there. Um, but we were on a road trip to Rajasthan. So me and my husband, we both love to travel, and we were on a road trip to Rajasthan. We were, went into the interiors. We visited a lot of artisans and weavers out there. And I thought that the Indian traditional fabrics that were getting lost in just the regular products that they were showcasing, I thought, why not introduce them in a contemporary way? And that's how my journey of introducing those artisans and weavers directly to our customer base started. So I came back and I thought that maybe let's get started with our own business. If I can do good to a lot of other brands, then why not have my own brand? And that's how the textiles and my shift to textiles started. Initially, I started with a few home decor products within my friends and family. I distributed them and I got a lovely response for it. So that journey of converting from graphics to textiles was a good start, and I thought maybe I can try my hands on textiles. Uh, so leaving a highly paid job was a difficult decision to make, but the working hours, the stress that I was going through for the long working hours, I thought it will definitely be a good change and I can follow my passion, which was travel plus designing. So I shifted to my own brand and started Craft Village in 2011. That was a journey long back, 13 years back. And I still remember I used to start with a small home decor products like cushion covers and table mats, runners. And everyone had was loving the transformation of these traditional fabrics into contemporary products. That was a good start where my parents, my in-laws, my husband were very happy because I was able to give that time, which I was not when I was in an ad agency or design houses.
So, Ketki, you started with such a wonderful purpose to bring the lost Indian craft to life, to do good to the artisans in the process. Wonderful. And then, how are the early days of Craft Village?
Early days of Craft Village was just amazing because we were introducing new products, new fabrics to the market, and everyone was just loving it. That was on the business part, and definitely on the personal end, I was able to give time to my family, to my husband, and in 2013 when I was expecting, I was able to give time to my children as well. So that was a very lovely phase where I got to balance both the business and my personal life, and that was something I was missing on, I think, and Craft Village gave me that chance of balancing it out.
Wonderful. Uh, this is actually the story of every female entrepreneur who struggles to, at both ends, running the business successfully and
Balancing the
balancing
the
the
personal life as well.
and children. So you were doing a fantastic job in the initial years of Craft Village. Tell me, did the story continue, the lovely rosy story continued of business, or what happened?
Unfortunately, no, because when I started the business in 2011, it was more of an offline business that I had started off with a few media channels, and the products that time were very innovative. The products that time were new into the market, so we had got a wonderful response for all of that. But later, when I took a sabbatical of almost 4 to 5 years and the business was on autopilot mode, unfortunately, we faced a lot of challenges once I got back to business. I realized that I'm lacking behind in the market, the competition that had already arose by that time, and I was lacking behind in my processes and strategies. And that was a point when I thought that I needed a hand holding.
Was it just a passing phase, challenges that come and they just go, or was it something that was pulling you down? How bad were these challenges at that point in time?
So there was a lot of mix of emotions. I was loving the way I was spending time with my family and my kid, but unfortunately, I had left my very highly paid job, and there was this always thing that maybe I'm not earning the way I would have if I was into the job. The business was not taking a good picture, and I was not able to work passionately towards it. It was just paying off taxes, paying off employee salaries, paying off the rent, paying off the vendors, and that was a circle where I was lost into, and it was a very sad scenario. Unfortunately, that time point of a time.
I remember this phase so strongly, KK, because in 2019, this was the time when I got into business coaching. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was my second seminar, right? And you had attended that seminar. And because of the connect that we already had, you felt comfortable to come to me and In tears, you had said then, that Ashika, after running the business for 8 years, now I want to shut it. And I could see that dilemma where you were invested in the business in terms of your emotions, and now you were rethinking on the entire decision and contemplating whether you wanted to continue it or shut shop.
Right.
So, what was your emotions at that point?
So, time back in 2018-19, I was running a very small store. You remember that store, right? It was a very small store where I was operating from, and I was thoroughly confused that what am I going to take the business to next level, or am I going to shut it down? Every week I used to tell my husband, "Let's shut it down. It's not my part of the game, and I will not be able to do it." So every week I was doing the same, and he was trying to push me to the next week and a month later, and I suddenly saw a message saying that, "Are you struggling with your business? And I'm here to help you out." And since I had a connect with you, I could come and approach you. Otherwise, I don't think so. I would have approached anyone because at that point of time, I thought that I was a very small store, and how are people going to entertain me for business coaching? So even at that point of time, Dheeraj pushed me that you should go and visit Ashika once and maybe just take a chance if she's of any help for you at that point of time.
So, Ketki, in terms of business, you were facing a lot of challenges, money crunch to begin with. On the family front, what was happening in at that time?
So there was a lot of self doubt that I was going through at that point of time, uh, on personal as well as professional part. Professionally, I was not doing good. I was not giving justice to my business, and then I thought that when I'm doing so much for the business and I'm not able to give time to my kids as well. So am I a good mom? Am I a good wife? Am I a good business woman entrepreneur? I was in a complete doubt, a complete self validation mode. That time, that point of time, and it was a very difficult phase because almost every alternate day I felt like I want to shut down the business and at least concentrate on my kids, or either get back completely into the business and focus on the business and take it to a next level. But I didn't knew that I would be able to do it or not. I wasn't confident about it.
Did this confidence or did this self doubt come from something that was seeded in your childhood? Because usually it does happen. Your beliefs or your confidence go back to your roots. So, had this also had a reflection to your past, your childhood?
Yes, yes, it does. It does have a reflection from my childhood memories. I was a bright student, but I was not non IT or a non. This was when 2000 or maybe earlier than that, 1995, 98, when I chose arts, when I decided to become an artist, a commercial artist by profession. And it was a, profession where people were not really looking upon as a career,
Sometimes it was
as a
not a
career,
career at
as
that
a
point in
right,
time at all.
right. So it was always compared with others. It was always compared, and I always self doubted that whether I took the right decision of going in that field, whether I took the right decision of taking my career in that field. And yes, that is where I started having that self doubt, self validation that okay, maybe I am an average student, and okay, maybe I'll be earning average, and yeah, it has some reflections from my childhood memories.
So, Ketki, why did you decide for coaching at this low point of yours?
Um, I badly needed someone at that point of time to handhold me in the business. It was a very difficult phase where so I was a sole proprietor, and there were no partners whom I could seek help for. Uh, my husband was always there supporting me, but that's not enough. So you always want a third person to have a look at it and share their views and opinions. And that is where I needed the help to build in the team, to understand the strategies, to understand how the process works for a business, to understand how I can get back to new product development, how I can get back to what I had been doing in the first initial 2 3 years. Because that was something that I was enjoying at that point of time, and I really missed doing it. And the worst part was that I was juggling between the personal and the professional life. So it was a very difficult phase then.
So, Ketki, we started the coaching process in Jan 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what were the initial changes that you started feeling in the business? What are the initial things that you started doing in the business?
Yeah, so the initial days when I started with the coaching, that is when I started feeling the difference. We started with a new team, very fresh team, and we started with a lot of processes and strategies to increase the ticket size of our customers, to increase the moment of our customers in the store, going and doing a lot of exhibitions outside in Pune, and that is where I started feeling the difference of having hand holding and having a coach with me. When I realized that it was the mindset that was the most affected or been impact, and you started giving me tools to work over it. You started giving me a lot of theories that could make me feel better, and we started seeing the difference they in both the struggles that I was going through, the professional as well as the personal life. I was feeling better with my kids and my family, and I was trying to gain that confidence in my business as well. So that was
So much so, Ketki, that in the lockdown, yeah, when the lockdown happened, you being a retail business person, you didn't give up, and with zero marketing budget at that point in time, you rocked.
yes.
Right? So how did you manage to do that miracle?
Yeah, so that was a strategy. I guess we started discussing that the lockdown is all over the world, and how are we going to, manage when a lot of businesses were shutting down. We were the ones who actually thrived, and not only thrived, we almost gained a 4x business in that particular time. That was with the strategy that I still remember. What do we call our partners? So we call our partners channel partners. We call them our retailers. We call them our resellers, and that was the strategy that hit the most, and it is still a most effective strategy that I'm still using after 4 years of business. I think that was a turning point in my business.
Wonderful. So not only did your challenges and your struggles in your business give opportunity and growth to you, but it also helped so many channel partners who are all women entrepreneurs
Yes,
now.
yes.
They got an avenue to get out of their comfort zones of homes and get into business. So wonderful journey, Ketki.
Yes. So we have almost more than 30 plus channel partners now who are on board with us at
All women
Convergence.
entrepreneurs.
All women entrepreneurs, housewives, retired women. Some are on sabbatical, and they are working with us at the ease of working from their home. So that was a turning point in my life. And when I thought that this is not the time when I should shut down the business, but this is the time to grow the business and take it to a next level.
Awesome. So what a wonderful U-turn that you have
Yes.
had. Wonderful. So Ketki, now that you have had your roller coaster ride and you have had your meltdowns and you have had your U-turns and now you're rocking it, what is that one message you would like to give the business owners who are going through at the moment? They're facing the similar challenges that you were going through 5 years back.
Yeah, so I would say that it's a very difficult phase for everyone if you're going through it. And I would always say that don't give up on it because you have spent a lot of time, money, energy, emotional connect with your business, with your brand, and it's very difficult to leave it just the way it is. It's you won't leave your child or you won't leave your family like that. It's a business. It's a baby that you have. Taken up till that stage. So I will never suggest you to just stay with it the way it is, or give it up on your business. Learn from what you are going through. Try to work on your strategies and processes. Try to work on different methods of how you can take the business to a next level. It's just a phase. It's a dark side of the business, and you have to overcome it. There is always a better tomorrow.
Wonderful, wonderful message from Ketki to all of us. Because, yes, as she rightly said, unfortunately, in our management schools, in our engineering colleges, in our medical colleges, in our videography, photography institutes, we are never taught how to manage a business. We are always made experts to handle our domain expertise, but we are never taught to how to manage or run a successful business. So while we are facing these challenges, instead of giving up, instead of sulking, it is good to go back and learn. after our colleges, most of us have never taken up learning. It's time to learn to face the challenges in the business. And once you do that, you would realize that the future is actually bright. So thank you so much, Ketki. One last thing I would like to know, as a woman entrepreneur, what would your message be to other women who want to do something on their own, who want to stand on their own feet, but they somehow don't develop that courage, they don't gather that courage, they are not sure, of one themselves and if they would be able to do it and they'll be able to make it big. So what's your message to them?
I would love to answer this question, but because I was always seeking an answer for this question when I was in my difficult phase. So yes, for women it is a different game altogether.
Altogether.
Family and kids and household chores and then the business, because that's the last part that comes through for any woman. So I would suggest that don't give up on that as well. You can definitely balance your work life and the family and the business and take it to the next level the way I did. You have learned and heard about my challenges, my upbringing, and my challenges that I went through. So for women entrepreneurs, don't even think of giving up, because again you have emotionally connected to this business for a very long time. So go ahead and give your best at both the ends.
And as we are blessed as women because we are experts in terms of
Yeah, we are
multitasking.
multitaskers.
We are multitaskers. It looks difficult that business कैसे करे, साथ में बच्चों को कैसे manage करे, and so on and so forth. But it does happen. Once
Yes,
you are
because
determined, it does happen.
yes, you have your own strategies to put both things in place. You are a multitasker, and when you fall into the water, you learn to swim. So that's how it is.
Another thing that I have realized is we give up our careers for our children, for our home, and some day comes where the children fly off the nest.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that emptiness and that guilt that I wish I could do something with my career always nags you. So this is a fantastic thing. Looking at you, I'm sure the other women also would either want to get into business, and if they're already in the business, they would want to scale it up like you.
Yes, you should not regret it later that why did I leave my business at that point of time, when I would have taken it to a next level and managed both the ends. So yes, definitely.
So thank you so very much, Ketki. It was wonderful, wonderful talking to you. And thanks. I ran through my memories of last 20 years with you. And thanks again. I
My
can't thank
pleasure.
you enough. And I hope this story of Ketki touches your chord, relates with what challenges you're going through, and brings in that hope in you that you should also not give up. So thank you so much, Ketki, for coming here and giving us a wonderful, inspiring U-turn story. I'm sure all the entrepreneurs watching us today would have a lot of messages for their businesses, then they would never give up on their business and they would remember you and thank you for this wonderful episode of U-Turn with Ashika Sarkar and Ketki Torne. Thank you so very much. If you have an inspiring story too, where you have given your fight to all the challenges and helped your business grow, you could be our next speaker. Please do share in the comment section below your story in brief, and my team will reach out to you and we'll be happy to host you. So, signing off here, take care and good luck.